When you're having issues seeing your changes to the theme layer applied, there's a couple of things that might be going on. And so this next section is about a few different tools that you can use in order to troubleshoot your theme. There's two main areas where changes might not be pushing through as you would hope them to be. One is through the HTML or actual code layer, and the second is through CSS. Through the code layer, the changes that you would expect to see have to do with the HTML structure that's being output on the page. With CSS, it has to do with the look and feel of the page. So is a different font size being used than what you had set? Is something a different color than what you had set in a CSS file? So there are a few different things we can check on both counts. If you've added a new template file or theme function, and the changes aren't being displayed on the page, then it's possible that your file or function is not being registered properly. The first thing to check is to make sure that the theme registry has been rebuilt, and we can do that by clearing the cache. So I have the admin menu module installed, and I can get to the clear cache by hovering over the home button and clicking flush all caches, or specifically the theme registry item under flush all caches. If I don't have this installed, then what I can do is go to Configuration, Development, and Performance. This URL is admin/config/development/performance. And all we need to do is click this Clear All Caches button right here, and that will clear the registry. If clearing the caches doesn't work, then there's one of two things going on. The first possibility is that your theme function or template file isn't outputting content in the way that you're expecting, and so when you're looking at the HTML on the page, you're not seeing the changes that you thought were there. The second, more likely possibility is that the function or file isn't being registered at all, and there's a few different points of failure, potential points of failure when it comes to that. So the first thing to do is to make sure that our template file or theme function is actually being called, and then we can go from there. And the way to do that is by using the theme developer module. And you can learn more about that by looking at some of the previous videos on how to identify where any output comes from on your site. But let's just take a quick look at it in action so you can just see. The theme developer module adds this little checkbox in the lower left-hand corner, and when we check it, we have the option of hovering over any item on the page, and when we click it, we can see here in the upper right-hand corner what theme functions or template files are responsible for this output. Let's say that I'm trying to override the output of a node using a different node.tpl.php file. So what I would want to do here, I've clicked on an item inside of that node, and you can see that we can go up the parent stack here and see what template files or theme functions are responsible for each one of these parts. Right now I'm interested in the node, so I'm going to go ahead and click Node. It says here that the template being called is in the Bartik theme, and it's node.tpl.php, which means that any overriding template file I might have created isn't being registered. Now, this helps narrow down the range of possibilities. It means that we still need to figure out how to get our template file or theme function registered. And there's a couple of things that we can do to check that. First of all, we need to make sure that if we're creating a theme function, that we've added the theme function declaration into the hook theme hook. What this does is allows the theme registry to find that particular theme function and override the theme function that's currently being used. For a template file, we just need to make sure that the template file is in the right place and that it follows the right naming conventions in order for it to override the particular template file that we'd like it to. There's a couple other ways we can override the template file, and we'll take a look at those in future videos.